because it's the silly, stupid, fascinating, weird, wonderful. They're my people, and more often than not, they're the geeky people as well.
But this real sense that what you do as you emerge out of Middle Earth in your real life is you hope, because Tolkien's so good at capturing that.
I mentioned Betamax. For anybody older, that's the old version of a video cassette. A video cassette is an old version of a DVD. A DVD is not set with the cloud.
And I said, I'm not happy, I've got bits wrong here. And she said, yeah, but that's all part of the learning process. That's all part of that makes it unique to you, that those kind of imperfections within it.
Good evening, welcome to the comfy trainers of live streams and podcasts. We are the ones you slip on when you need to be informal and yet cosy and comfortable. Yes, there are more smart shoes on the rack, sporty ones also, and yet, we might have a couple of holes in us, but we bring all the feels and the comfortable and reliability and a bit of ventilation. Welcome to another episode of Faith and Geekery. My name is Mark. And this is
Becca.
And this
Jenny.
is
Jenny. I think I'm the ventilation.
You're in the ventilation. What
I'm
shoes
the
are you wearing right now?
I'm not wearing any shoes.
I'm not
shoeless.
wearing any shoes either.
Yeah.
Normally I would not be wearing shoes inside, but I am wearing flip-flops.
Flip-flops?
Oh,
Yes,
good.
I've moved
choice.
into summer flip-flops. Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
Here ends the reading for
And
today.
so it shall be.
How are we all doing? We've been up to anything exciting and all that malarkey?
Good, thanks. Yeah.
Okay, that's the end of the conversation.
That's it, yeah. It's going well. It's going well today.
I'm desperately
I'm
trying
feeling
to
a
think.
bit tired at the moment.
Tired.
I'm feeling tired.
I think what I've been doing is I've been prepping for exciting things that are coming up. I've been doing a lot of exciting things which are not yet come to fruition. That's how I've been filling my time.
I think that's my life most of the time until I get to that point and then realise, I'm really tired. I've been working so hard getting ready for the excitement.
Too much plan. Too much
So
prep.
much planning. Yeah.
So is this the answer to the question of what geeky things we've been up to is prep and planning?
Prep and planning, which is very geeky for me, because there are some things that I think I probably prefer prepping for than actually doing, or at least the same amount. Like I enjoy it equally as the thing.
Yeah, I quite like that whole process, particularly the beginning. There's some middle bits that I really don't enjoy about prep. Just the kind of fiddly, boring, filling in the form type bits.
The detail stuff.
The prep.
Oh no, some detail stuff I can really kind of get into. There's just the kind of researching where to order something from. I think that's my sticking point. As there's so many options on the internet.
Yeah, then I get bored pretty quickly. I have a geeky thing I have done today actually is I finished paying off my Disney holiday that's coming up in July, and that is pretty spectacular. And the planning for Disney is intensely amazing. It's just brilliant, and I love it. This Friday, I'll be able to book the restaurants we want to go to. Which, if you are a Walt Disney World nerd, you know how incredibly invested you have to be in this process to get the reservations that you want. You have to be there as the clock strikes the second.
I think my mind just went numb at the thought of having to do that.
I love it.
I think I'll be there. Just go with sandwiches, kids.
This is why I do it. This is why I'm the nominated person. Everybody else is like, I just want to rock up. Not me. I love the planning. Love it.
What do you mean there isn't a booking for 8 for Buffalo Bills 5 minutes before I want it? Oh, no. That's my references there. Anything other geekiness that you've been up to?
Gardening. I have been in the garden. I am doing no dig gardening, which is just sheer laziness, I now feel. But it involves putting down layers of cardboard directly over weeds, lawn, whatever, and then mulching on top of that and planting your plants directly into that top layer of mulching. Well, it benefits lots of things. It's not sheer laziness, because what it means is the plants are directly planted into the good stuff rather than into your rocky, dry soil. But also there's all sorts of I want to say infrastructure, but that's not what it is. There's all sorts of things going on in the soil created by the beings that live there. And if you dig it up and churn it all up, you actually interrupt what is already an established ecosystem. So if you plant on top of it, you're giving your plants instantly the nutrition and the kind of aerated stuff that they want, and the moisture retaining stuff. And eventually that cardboard breaks down. The plants grow down, and the roots grow down into an existing structure that's ready to.
Nice.
And so the weeds can take over.
The weeds, the nettles come through. I don't garden at all, but there was a rose that I was determined not to kill, and it almost died. But then I planted it in the garden, and I picked the spot. And because I live in a vicarage, I have no idea what's there in this garden. So I just picked what looked like a nice spot and started digging down until I reached some sort of creature. To this day, I don't know what it is. To this day,
a live one or a dead one?
I was going to say
definitely dead.
Okay.
Definitely
That's better.
Yes.
Good for the rose to be planted on top of it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Becca, when you said no digging, I was thinking, what are you doing? If you're not digging with a spade, are you just using your hands, like feral?
Just gently licking the ground until it gives way.
Nice.
For podcast listeners, you missed the licking demonstration, just in case you didn't visually understand.
For live streamers, I'm sorry you saw the licking demonstration.
Apologies.
Oh, good.
What about you, Mark?
I have been doing some D&D prep. I have been doing some t-shirt design, which sort of worked and sort of failed at the same time. And also, I will tie this in with what Stephen has shared. He attended a sound tech training session, which had sent me down a rabbit hole looking at kit. I don't want to mention names, but if he's willing to own up. I was interesting. Stephen has said that it's a sound tech training session. I was leading a live stream technician. Oh, and Jenny seems to have disappeared. I hope she comes back shortly. I was doing a live stream, but I did talk an awful lot about sound as well, because when you're talking about live streaming and otherwise, it was important to get the right balance and to use the right kit. So I have been doing that as well. So I've been involved with lots of wires. Is Jenny coming back up again?
Sorry.
No, it's all right. So I've just been doing lots of kit and caboodle with live streams, PTZ cameras, and all that kind of stuff in kind of ministry and work, as well as being a bit more crafty. I've been painting minis as well. So I'm sure we will mention Cliff Festival a little bit later, but there is one of the sessions that we are leading, which is also about D&D with some familiar faces and not so familiar faces and strangers presently as well. So it's all going to be fun. And if you are coming to Cliff Festival, we're around for the whole weekend in various ways and kind of I was about to say recipes, don't mean that, but in various ways and means. And so it's not just D&D, but it's other things such as quizzes and board games and all that stuff, and so I've been painting some minis as well, so that has been exciting. Absolutely. Shall we move on to the news?
Yes. Move on. Let's.
In fact, no, thank you. You just reminded me we should have some music, and where is it? There it is. Sorry, really professional all the time.
This is the Faith in Geekery News, broadcast to your home and around the world.
Sorry, folks, I have been just come straight from one Zoom meeting to another. So I'm a little bit blurry-eyed. The geeky news. I thought I'd mention trailers. Lots and lots and lots of trailers, especially as 2 dropped directly after our broadcast last week, which was the Superman and Ironheart trailers. But then over the last week, there's been absolutely tons of trailers that have dropped. Some known, some lesser known. So Superman, obviously, Ironheart, Smurfs, which they're trying to be successful with that once more. Bad Guys 2, Americana, Jujutsu Kaisen, Nobody 2. Ballerina from the world of John Wick. Oh, What Fun, which is I feel a bit early for a Christmas themed film, but then also Zootropolis 2 or Zootopia, depending on what side of the Atlantic you're on, because they seem to have named it differently from one side of the sea to the other. And so there's loads of trailers. Mentioning Cliff Festival, just mentioned it. So that's where we're going to be this weekend in various ways and disguises. We're not going to be disguised. We're going to be on. Well, anyway, I'll mention Eurovision has happened, but we'll mention that in the quiz. Doctor Who. Now, either of you, have you caught up with Doctor Who yet or not?
No.
Oh my
no.
Gosh.
Really?
I'm very excited for what is the tsunami of the 2-parter finale. I think finally the plaster has been ripped off, the excitement and that all makes sense now. Or oh my gosh, I hope it makes sense now because it's really fun and really exciting.
Oh, brilliant. Good.
And the other thing to mention, as usual, but I thought I'd formally plug it, is our Faith and Geekery Discord and Facebook page. We're still unable to stream directly to it yet. I feel as if we haven't been up and running long enough or something. We're not kind of fulfilling Facebook's but we are there on our Faith and Geekery Discord, and I'm sure you should be able to find the link in the doobie-doo or on our website or otherwise. So come and find us and chat to us and share with us. And that is the end of geeky news. Is there anything you want to say about the trailers or anything other than that?
I just continue to be overwhelmed by the sheer amount of Pedro Pascal content there is available currently. Just films, let alone anything else. There's like 3 films coming up really, really soon that you can go to the cinema. In one day I could go to the cinema and see all 3.
So is that
it's amazing?
Fantastic
What time to be
Four?
alive? Fantastic Four, Eddington, and that other one that I think is more of an indie one.
Cool.
You think what he said? Yeah.
Where has he been before this year? I don't feel like I've seen him.
The Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, he has actually been in The Mandalorian
Before
and The Last of Us.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes, that too. The one with Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim reminded us of the title of last week.
But it has been a
subsequently
recent.
Forgotten.
Yeah, it's The Unbearable Weight. But he has recently exploded, hasn't he? So.
Just like that Eurovision song. Do you not Graham Norton, the cork falling down from the ceiling? And there's just a moment they kept using the same clip over and over again.
It was
definitely
no.
It was definitely part of the Discord conversation.
Nice.
I maybe missed that.
Yeah.
But Graham Norton is even in Doctor Who last week's episode.
No.
So you need to catch up. You need to get up to speed. Especially as what I really liked is that they'd scheduled the Interstellar Song Competition last week's episode to kind of to tally up with Eurovision. It's a bit of a shame that well, I was about to say it's a bit of a shame, but for whatever reason Nchuti Gatwa was meant to have been giving the UK's points, the scores.
Yeah, he was, and then he withdrew, right?
I just don't know whether it was a political decision or a health decision. I have no idea. But it would have lined up brilliantly to have gone from the Interstellar Song Competition in Doctor Who to that.
That is just so ridiculous.
Yeah, but
you've got
it's
to love
Russell
them
T
for that.
Davies, and he does it really well. So I'm
funny.
really excited about that.
Nice.
But did I mention Doctor Who? Oh yes, I have. So
Oh,
I'll
yes,
move
I
on.
did.
I'll move on quite happily.
Right, I need to watch that before the weekend.
You need to watch all of them. All
I
of
haven't.
the
No,
episodes.
I think I'm
Okay.
up to the 2 weeks ago.
So the story in the machine, or the engine.
What
The
did I
story
last
in the
see?
engine.
I can't think. I have to confess that I've been binge watching the Kardashians for the past couple of days.
That's fine. You should have mentioned that in your geekiness. But yeah, there's one about a barbershop. There's one about
Doesn't
Conrad.
feel geeky at all.
It feels shameful.
I feel so ashamed.
Should we talk about that one week then? The shame of certain geekery.
Reality TV. Kind of guilty pleasures and reality
Guilty
TV.
pleasures, yeah.
I mean,
Guilty geekery.
Guilty geekery. How
Love it.
can we apply our geekery to the things that no one would ever claim as geeky, like Too Hard to Handle,
and,
Big Brother,
and talk about it on live stream.
and talk about it as confessional, to hold us to an account for what we take into our brains and
It's been
souls.
5 days since I've been watching the Kardashians.
It hasn't. I wish it had.
Shall we move on?
Tonight, please, Liz.
Tonight we don't have any guests, but I think again it exploded in the Discord, just like a chandelier or whatever, and Eurovision. That there was this sudden interest in cheese in all abundance,
much cheese.
So tonight we are going to talk about cheese. I don't know how much we're going to bring into theology, into God, into whateverness.
Well, we're searching for
we'll get there.
Jesus, surely.
Be Jesus, absolutely.
Jesus.
But Jesus will be mentioned, I'm sure, and other varieties. But in fact, before we come to the quiz, the question that I want to start us with, and I've got to say it's on behalf of Becky, she kind of got me thinking about this, is what is the perfect cheese board? So get thinking about that. Thinking about that. What would you put on your cheese board?
Yeah.
What makes sense, or think about exactly what setting. It's entirely up to you. What is going to be on your perfect cheese board? Get thinking about that as we come to the quiz.
The quiz.
I got questions. The quiz.
So as you can tell, I'm still a little bit slow tonight, and so I'm just trying to reach out and get these little things.
It's okay. I still managed to get my favourite bit in.
I do feel sorry. Is it Simon who did that song? Is it Just Notes?
Andy,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry, Andy.
I feel that,
And it is good, and we listen to it every time, but also the old one dies hard. It does.
Well, I was going to say it's the reworked one. Anyway, pens and paper at the ready. 5 questions. A couple of them are going to be multiple choice, and I haven't even worked out how many words how many points it's going to be, but we're going to go from there. No, Tim. Unfortunately, Tim is not here, so he is not doing the quiz. But we think about wherever he may be.
I might be able to get more than 1 or 2 then, in that case.
What, because it's me doing the quiz?
Yeah.
Right. Pens and paper at the ready, or devices, or however you are going to tally up slates with chalk. Question number 1. On this day, that is for podcast listeners and for those coming in later, the 20th of May, 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob David patented what with copper rivets? So on this day, 20th of May, 1873, Levi Strauss and Jacob David patented what with copper rivets? For podcast listeners, I was trying to pause and do a face, but the other two are looking down, studiously trying to think.
Sorry, do it again.
Do it again. We want to watch.
There it
good.
is. There it is.
For podcast listeners, I did it again. Question number 2. With Eurovision over for another year, can you place the order of final places? So I would like to know first, second, third, and fourth, but I'm going to give you them alphabetically in order for you to try and guess what order it is in.
Okay.
So it is Austria, Estonia, Israel, and Sweden.
Could you do it by singing their song?
Yes, please.
No, because I don't know most of these. I can give you the artists if that helps,
No,
Yeah.
and the
doesn't help at
titles,
all.
the song titles.
Yes. Yeah.
So
yeah. Do
Austria
that.
with Wasted Love, Israel with New Day Will Rise, Estonia with Espresso Macchiato, and Sweden with Bara Bada Bastu. Sorry, I should have done that.
Okay.
Austria, Estonia, Israel, and Sweden.
It was such a strong Eurovision.
I think
The
definitely some
variety. I think what was missing for me was the song that just made me so uncomfortable. I didn't want to watch it. Which often I rely on Germany to produce, but they didn't this year.
What normally makes you feel uncomfortable?
I don't know. It's just something that feels so almost so alien. There was a lot of quite listenable to stuff, I think.
Yeah.
There wasn't the one that I was like, no, I would never listen to this ever again, and I feel slightly violated with it being in my ears and eyes.
I think some of them just kind of tried to go kind of mid-range pop, top of the pops, and I kind of go,
yeah,
that's all right, but
the pops,
it's Eurovision,
HD.
And so I actually skip. I push through.
Top of the pops,
children.
Top of the pops, kids.
Never do a Jimmy Savile impression.
That wasn't.
Oh.
that was pop pickers. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's
moving on
very quickly there.
Number
Becca.
3. So sorry.
Do we put a warning in there? No. What I was going to say is I did my scoring and I put an E next to the ones that I thought were appropriately Eurovision. The ones that were just that completely surreal and that kind of like they leaned into the curve and we're just like,
we should do that next year, is put out a rating for Eurovision songs rather than popular music ones, and we can have it as our live Discord chat for Eurovision.
I was meant to have mentioned that in the news because we just lent into doing a live, we
Discord
just
had a chat, didn't we? It was really lovely until I took an antihistamine because I'd been scratched so much in the garden. You can still see the scratches on my arm.
Oh no!
And it just knocks me out. So we got to the end of all the songs and then I fell asleep. So I don't even know who won. I haven't watched the end.
What scratched you?
Brambles. I just felt really itchy.
You might do really well in this quiz then. Should we carry on with the quiz?
Yeah, let's do it.
Question number 3. When was the first evidence of cheese making dated back to? You've got a multiple choice, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Is it A, over 2,000 years ago, B, over 3,500 years ago, C, over 7,000 years ago, or D, over 10,500 years ago? And that is about approximates, by the way. I realise that all of them are over 2,000 years ago. I want more specifics. I want a closer number. So A, over 2,000 years ago, B, over 3,500 years ago, C, over 7,000 years ago, or D, over 10,500 years ago.
Okay.
So when was the first evidence of cheese making dated back to?
Can you imagine how smelly it would be now if it survived all this time? I mean,
would the bacteria not
be? I just don't think it would. It wouldn't
it?
survive, is the thing. But if it did survive, then it would maybe some sort of
like
super
a really
creation,
strong nutty cheddar, or it was just turned into one great big cheese crystal.
Like if it was,
or it'd be sentient.
But if it was like it got trapped in amber,
I am that cheese.
If it got trapped in amber, like the mosquito from Jurassic Park, or encased in honey, and then somebody came
that famously accurate sci-fi film,
right?
That's scientific.
That's how it works.
About dinosaurs.
I'll just get a little bit of this cheese and dip it in to the
and then what are you
nectar.
What are you going to make from the ancient cheese? More cheese.
And let's move on. Question number 4. What is the smallest country in the world? What is the smallest country in the world? No multiple choice. I'm just going to throw you that one out here.
How many questions?
That was the 4th one. So there's going to be 5. I think this may even nod back to last week. I can't remember if I did something along this line or not. Question number 5. When was Netflix founded? Was it A, 1997, B, 2001, C, 2009, or D, 2015?
In its current format.
When was Netflix founded? So that is the company in all of its entirety, as in, because I think it originally sent out DVDs, didn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it includes that. So when was Netflix founded? A, 1997, B, 2001, C, 2009, or D, 2015?
See, 97 was around Napster time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Do, 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 do. Let's move on to the answers then, shall we?
Okay.
Yes.
Question number 1. Does anyone want to take a guess?
Well, I went for toilet, and I don't know why.
So, James Crapper, Siston, no?
Yeah, but there was like a whole kind of...
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah. I put denim jeans
because
they have rivets.
You are correct. Blue jeans, I'll accept. Denim jeans. I didn't know whether Levi Strauss was going to be a giveaway of Levi's.
Yeah,
no.
that makes a lot more sense than toilet.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to catch.
I didn't even hear that. I just went with rivets.
Sam has put jeans.
Well done, Sam.
Jeans.
Question number 2. What order of the final places? Does anybody want to take a guess, or shall I just read it out?
Austria won.
Yeah.
Israel came second, which is a whole conversation. And then was it Sweden? And then Estonia?
No, it's the other way around. And ironically, I gave you
that's alphabetic.
Alphabetically, I gave you them as oh yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, no, it's not quite. Australia, Estonia, Israel, and Sweden. But then when I gave you the band names,
you just get
I actually gave you the answers.
The correct answer. Oh, okay.
So I just but I was like, oh, I've committed to this now. I can't then go, oops, sorry, done it in the wrong order. So it was Wasted Love, JJ, followed by, that was Austria, Israel with New Day Will Rise. Then it was Estonia, Espresso Macchiato. Sweden, Bada Bastu with Sweden. So you get however many points for those what you get in order. UK came 19th.
Yeah, that's pretty standard though, right?
Yeah.
Out of what? Yeah. What was it out of?
Oh, I can't remember that. Is it 26?
I mean, that's not bad for us. We have had years where we've really scored like 0.
It's just the fact that every year we're going to go, oh, we've got a chance of winning, folks. And you go,
no, there's never a chance. No.
Sam Ryder in recent years, because he was lovely. And that's what we're going to do, is do lovely or do really funky Euro style. And I've never seen us do, when we talk about the making your mind up, ripping the skirts, that is kind of quite Eurovision, style, and we just haven't done that for years. We need to go for silly.
I quite liked what they did. I thought what they did was relatively silly.
Oh well, no, I thought the harmonies.
Yeah, I thought
they
it sounded quite good.
Was it Remember Monday or something? Or what was it? I forgot.
What the hell just happened?
Yeah, I meant the band themselves.
No, I was just saying Monday? That generally.
Sorry, I've got to go and accuse you there to kind of work out what the band's name was and if we actually remember it. But I thought they were actually musically really talented, and actually I thought they brought the best harmonics. I mean, not the full range. I mean, there was the operatic voice. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But they brought harmony across 3 singing voices, which I was just like, that stood out. But again, it's a UK entry, so we're going to be pointed low. But also, it just didn't have that Euro Shazam. I don't know, whatever I'm trying to say. So anyway, let's move on. Question 3. When was the first evidence of cheese making dated back to? Does anyone want to guess?
I put 7,000.
I put 7,000.
Correct.
Yes.
I was trying to work out whether it was going too far, or whether that should be the last number or the one before. But I thought 10,500. It was a bit too far back. But then
I almost went for that purely because it was so specific.
So far back and so specific.
Yeah.
I was doing on 3,500 breaking between them. Anyway, question number 4 is: what is the smallest country in the world?
Well,
Is it still Rome?
I put the Vatican.
Vatican City.
But,
Yes!
that is what I meant by
No, but Rome is not
obviously.
Vatican, is it?
No, it's not. The Vatican.
And then I had a whole moment where I was trying to figure out, should it be a country something to do with cheese?
Yeah,
and
no,
then was there a smaller country than the Vatican?
There is lovely cheese in Italy. So
in the Vatican, one would presume.
I mean, I assume they have cheese in the
Yeah.
Vatican.
Yeah.
This is stretching the topic for today, really, isn't
I bet
it?
they make their own cheese.
They
in the
must eat
Vatican.
cheese.
I
wonder
apologise that I
those
did not
4
do it.
countries.
I apologise that I didn't do a fully cheese-themed quiz.
Somebody Google it.
Yes. Finally, question number 5: when was Netflix founded?
I've gone with 2001.
Yeah.
97.
Oh,
No,
darn
surely
it.
not.
I know.
I had
know.
DVDs from Netflix.
Yeah. So it was from the late 1900s.
From the you shut your mouth.
You wash your mouth out with cheese.
Okay, well, I have got cheese with me, so I'll take the opportunity.
Oh,
that is the end of the quiz, and I'm going to have a bite of my cheese. So
I need some cheese.
You can have some of mine.
What cheese have you got?
I've got brie on a cracker, and I've got some grapes because I'm classy. Here you go, have some.
Yeah, that is.
It's very ripe as well.
Oh, that's nice.
So, returning to the question, what is the perfect cheese board? What would you go with?
It's got to have some Dutch smoked cheese. In fact, the cheaper for me, the better. I quite like a nice, cheap smoked
Like
cheese.
Gouda.
No, yeah, could also be good.
I need to have a variation between textures and firmnesses.
Yes,
if that's the word. So I like some to be really soft and some to be like, like crunchy and hard. And then also probably different milk variety as well. So some cow and some sheep and some goat.
I've just seen a message from Stephen. He's shared about how many points he got. We didn't ask how many points people got from the quiz. And other than getting Sweden and Estonia the wrong way around, he got them all correct.
Well done, Stephen. Very
thanks.
impressive. You definitely beat me.
Do put your scores in. What scores did
I got 2.
I got 4.
I got 2 today.
Oh, very good.
Did you get 4 because you got the orders right for?
No,
2?
I only got 2 right because I got Austria and Israel, and then you got 7,000 too, and then I got one more, but I can't remember because I've ripped it out.
There you go.
Oh no, I
Mark,
got
now
Vatican.
what cheese are you eating? No one gave me the brief that we were to eat cheese. You know what cheese I've got in the fridge?
What have you got?
Cheap sliced cheese to go on burgers.
Nice. Plastic
we call
cheese.
those palm oil
Plastic.
slices.
Palm oil, orange slices of cheese.
Because I also have that. I went out this
pecorino.
afternoon. I went out this afternoon and bought some Roquefort cheese, which is what I've got.
Oh.
There we go. Oh no, it's juicy. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Mark's got cheesy thighs.
Juice,
He's got cheesy thighs.
I've
He's
got a really cheesy hand,
thighs.
so I might just disappear for a moment because I don't
Do
know
you
what
want
to
us
do
to carry the
otherwise.
conversation?
Show us-
Well,
I'm
show
gonna
us your
come on.
cheesy hand.
No, I'm not. Back in a
Roquefort
sec.
juice.
What even is Roquefort juice? I love
Roquefort
it.
juice. Well, I have an answer for that. It's actually whey, Jenny.
Nice. Tell me more about this, please, Becca.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you. It is the separated juice because having made like mozzarella the other day, anytime you've got a dairy product and it has the liquid that's come out of it, that is the whey that has
And then
separated from the
This is the way.
curds.
This is the way. So the curd is the actual cheese, right? Do you take that and you squish it together to make actual cheese?
Yes, and different cheeses are then processed differently, but the curds are the bit that is used in cheese making, and sometimes the whey.
What do you use? This is the way. I'm going to be obsessed with that now.
This is the way.
What do you use the whey for? Do you just have to? Cheese is the way to our heart.
Well, today, what I used it because I kept the whey separately, and you can do things like prepare meat and soften meat and things in it. There are some recipes that you can use it, but I only had 1.5 pints of milk to make macaroni cheese for tea, and so I actually used half whey, half milk.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Was
and
that very nice?
it worked fine. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So
Nice.
there you go. I was quite proud of myself.
Top
Sam
tip.
has used the Jesus is the
Jesus
way.
is the way.
Amen.
Oh my gosh! And also with you.
Oh my gosh. I've lost connection to my mouse now. Is that the cheese?
The Jesus
Have
bot.
you got Roquefort
Cheese
mousse?
juice. I also on my plate though have grapes, and I think it is important. The cheese is obviously crucial to a cheese
Yes.
board, but also the accoutrements.
Yes.
They are maybe
Yes.
equally important.
Are you a pickle fan?
I love pickles.
I love
I love them. And I also love a chutney. And
Yes.
I
What's the
appreciate a
difference
grape.
between a chutney and a pickle?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Pickle is in vinegar, right? Whereas, as in like something preserved in vinegar. Whereas a chutney is cooked using vinegar.
Aha.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Yes,
know.
that feels right.
I feel like that is
Whether it
correct.
is.
Let's stick with it.
Say it with
Both have
confidence.
spices,
It's
don't
fine.
they? Yes. Yeah. Say it like a vicar, and we will believe you.
I'm really distracted by your. Is that what?
That is a neutered cat wearing a he's in
Cone
cosplay
of shame.
actually. So well no, he's Elizabethan cat.
Oh, good. I was about to feel sad, but now I don't have
Yeah,
to.
no, feel a little sad for both of them. There,
It's just Shakespeare. It's just a Shakespeare cat.
It's just a Shakespeare
I was
play.
gonna-
That's
I was
all it
trying
is.
to find wordplay on cat.
Just a ruffle.
Feline Shakespeare. I don't know. No.
Keep going. You're almost
my mouse has also died. I don't know what's happening tonight.
Death by Roquefort juice.
I think it may have just lost charge, but therefore the comment from Sam is still up on the screen because I can't move it until.
Yes, but this is an accurate comment, so
it is. Jesus is the way. It could stay there for a while.
I think it's okay.
To our heart. Yes, sorry, Jenny. Were you saying about other accoutrement that to add to your cheese?
So you've got your chutneys and you've got your pickles, but then also you could have your gelatinous cubes.
Oh yes, like
right?
a cheese,
like a jammy kind of.
Yes,
that you slice up and you can add onto your cracker, and then obviously cracker versus bread.
Whether it's toasted like a little tiny baguette thing,
or a little tiny triangle of something,
like a little bruschetta.
Yeah, or a cracker.
And texture just makes a huge difference
Massively.
to the mouth moment, depending on the cheese.
Depending on the cheese.
It's like a breadstick that you can just bodge into the cheese and pick it up in a whole thing.
Yeah,
I'm often frustrated by a breadstick unless you're using it instead of a cocktail stick.
What is the point
in which case, brilliant.
Oh, you can wrap Parma ham around it. That's a good point for a breadstick. Yeah,
quite classy there, Jen.
That is classy. But I think melted cheese that you're dipping into is a whole separate category to a cheese
We are in a
board.
separate area of cheese consumption.
We can move on to that in a little while.
With
like
fondue. Yes.
Yeah.
Cheese board, grapes or olives. If you had to have one.
Both. Slice apple.
If it was life or
Almond
death.
lunch used to be my favourite.
I have to say, if it's just cheese, grapes. If it's cheese and meat board, olives.
Yeah, okay. I get that.
Yes, acceptable.
I feel like that is the correct answer.
I think it is actually. Let's move on.
I
think we've sorted the world out today, folks. There's nothing more to say here.
Well done.
Solved.
That global warming fixed just with one answer.
Meats and olives.
And olives with the cheese. What is it about cheese? Why does it make you?
It's the perfect combination of sugar, fat, and salt.
And it's that comforting nature of it, isn't it?
It is
very
sweet and salty and fatty.
Can I tell you a story?
It depends,
Oh,
doesn't
yes,
it?
please do.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm very intrigued by what you were just
wafted a
flapping
piece
around.
of
Well, because I
sliced
went to wash
fake
my
cheese.
hands.
For those listening on the
I have.
podcast.
What is going on right now? Are you going to eat that raw, Mark?
I mean, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
raw, is it?
You've got
It's
to like,
raw.
you've got to peel it. You've got to peel it.
For podcast listeners, I've just got some kind of the sliced cheese.
American.
Yeah, I've got to say, it tastes awful.
Yeah.
On its own.
I asked for a sandwich the other day, and I was offered someone to make me a sandwich. The ham had gone bad, so I said, "Okay, I will have a cheese sandwich."
cheese.
And I was given a cheese sandwich. Only it was not cheese. No,
Yeah.
it was plastic from a wrapper cheese.
Yeah, it's not.
I
It's like
ate
nacho
it.
cheese. You have to not call it
nacho cheese is nacho cheese.
I think nacho cheese is good, and I think is it.
I love it, but it's not cheese.
Applewood, non-dairy version is very much nacho cheese. If you melt that, it's fantastic.
Is that cheese though? Is
Well,
that cheese?
Oh no,
This is
I mean, as a
this
son
is
of
entering a
dairy
new area,
farmer,
isn't it?
no.
Yes.
The answer's no. Can I tell you a story? Can I tell you a cheese-related story?
Cheese-related
And I think for me, this is a little insight into my heart for cheese. So I was doing all of the Christmas services, and as you know, there's a lot over Christmas, right? So I got to midnight communion, which is you're almost at the end there. It's just slightly hysterical. Maybe I'd had a glass of wine before the service. Don't tell anybody. And I arrived at midnight communion, and somebody gave me my Christmas present and said, "Here, you can have your Christmas present early." And it was just a truckle of cheese. They just gave me a truckle of cheese.
What's
and then
a truckle?
Just like wrapped in wax,
cylinder of cheese.
Yeah, got you.
And they said, "Merry Christmas." So then for the rest of the midnight communion, I just had it in my pocket. I just had it in my robe.
So it wasn't wrapped up; it was just wrapped in wax.
No, it was just a thing of cheese. And I've never been happier. Like, I think it might have been my favorite Christmas present this past year.
That is a strong Christmas present.
Right?
I am slowly working my way through a truffle flavored mature cheddar.
How is it?
Strong,
Yeah.
but actually I then eat less and less of it.
Yeah.
But it's
Because
still a
it's
cheese
powerful.
experience.
It's mighty. And then throughout the
mighty
service, whenever somebody said, "Oh, Merry Christmas," I'd go, "Merry Christmas, I've got cheese in my pocket." It became this whole thing that I was sharing with, not actually sharing. Obviously, I ate it all myself, but yeah, it brought a lot of joy to many people.
Nice.
That's a really cool story.
Thank you.
We need to ask the question: flavoured cheeses or not flavoured cheeses?
Depends on the flavouring.
Absolutely, it depends on the flavouring.
Sweet. Stephen Jones says sweet dreams are made of cheese.
That's
Annie
Lennox.
Lennox.
Who am I to disagree?
Annie Lennox and cheese. How to make both of those things better.
So
What were you saying? Flavouring.
Yeah, well, we could talk about that, or equally we could just talk about fondue or hot cheese.
I think let's do flavoured cheese first, because I think I feel quite strongly about sweet things being put inside the cheese, because I feel I've not consented to that mouth experience. And actually what I would like to do is have full control over my savoury to sweet combination. So I do feel a bit violated when someone's put some sweet stuff in the cheese itself.
The problem for me though is that when it's like cranberry and Stilton or orange or apricot and Stilton and things like that, the problem is I actually prefer the apricots and the
cheese
and the cranberries rather than the Stilton cheese. I'm not a fan of Stilton cheese. There's just something really plain.
What is it
bland.
that they put in Wensleydale?
Cranberry quite often.
Just that one. I feel like
And
I had to eat that
Wensleydale is a
one.
glorious cheese.
It's beautiful. I
It
feel
is.
like
I've watched that being made, which I really enjoy that memory
That's
of.
awesome. I feel like I went through a time when that's all I had in the fridge, so I had to eat it when I was a poor student. And now it's like, when you've had one drink too much and you can never drink that drink again. I think it's like that.
Why did you have cranberry Wensleydale as a poor student?
It's a good question, Becca.
The only thing I could afford, right? was cranberry Wensleydale.
I didn't buy
It was
it.
the
I
thing
didn't buy
left
it.
over from our cheese board.
I was probably gifted it from,
Okay, yeah, that's
like
acceptable.
a wine and cheese evening that I
No one
was
else wanted
invited to. Yeah, and I took it was
Or a
the only
church
one
member
left
that you
because nobody
pinched it
likes
from
it.
them.
Maybe I was gifted it. You know,
Or maybe you stole it.
or maybe I stole it. Either way, that's all I had to eat.
Yeah.
So I ate it, and I don't think I can face it ever again.
Having dissed fake cheese or plastic cheese, I do like a flavoured primula. You know, the squeezy cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I do, and
the
any of the
roulade.
flavours, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that remind you of like childhood? Kind of
Yes,
that sort of
definitely
time?
it does.
That was our Wakelin family car picnic cheese, where you would rush into the supermarket, grab your primula, grab a crusty white bread roll and some cherry tomatoes, and that was our lunch. And so you sat in the back of the car debating whether or not to split open the cherry tomatoes before putting them into the sandwich, because you knew it was going to explode later, but still you risked it anyway.
We call that a little lunch.
I like
other
a little
supermarkets
lunch.
are available, but we sometimes go for the whipped cheese. It's like slightly foamier, I guess.
Yeah,
and it's like a little
like a mousse
packet. Yeah.
Have you ever tried cheese in a can, like a spray cheese? No, me neither.
I think I have it. I think it's. I mean, it's
American,
exactly as you would expect it to be, like the yellow sliced plastic wrap cheeses,
but entirely liquefied.
Yes.
That doesn't sound
sprayable.
And sprayable.
Sprayable cheese. I mean, what isn't improved by being able to be put in an aerosol can and sprayed directly into your mouth?
Yeah. You could do cheese and whipped cream at the same time. Like that.
Yes.
That would be a combination.
You could. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I don't know. Got nothing to add to that. It sounds disgusting.
Fondue then.
Yeah, fondue. And then we need to kind of maybe bring some theological reflection to this as well, or some deeper reflection. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Sam has put. I used to do allergy testing way back in the day. One time we had a request of allergy to primula. They meant primrose pollen, but my boss tested soft cheese.
That's a better day.
That is so cute. However, that does remind me of another story, going slightly off topic. And I won't mention which member of my family, but there is a younger member of my family, broader family, where basically one of his friends was working in a Greggs. And the young server working in a Greggs was serving all the usual orders at Greggs. But he was there kind of going, oh, people keep on asking for a medium sausage. And we've only got one size. But he kept on giving them out anyway, giving them out anyway, giving them out anyway.
No.
It took about a month to realise someone went, vegan sausage roll, not medium. And so this individual still works there, but was deeply embarrassed because they hadn't realised.
Gosh, these vegan sausage rolls have come a long way. They taste even more delicious.
Maybe that's why people have been raving about the vegan sausage rolls from Greggs, because they've actually been having the vegan sausage rolls.
They are actually quite delicious, the vegan sausage rolls, but they are not cheese.
I genuinely prefer vegan sausage rolls in Greggs rather than the actual meat alternative.
Yeah, but you're sure that that's actually what you're having, though?
No, that's true now.
Yes, vegan ones are not shiny because they don't have egg wash on them.
So you know from the outside.
Yeah.
So that's on them then.
Matte
story.
colours,
They should have noticed. They should have noticed the egg.
Anyway, any further comments about cheese or otherwise? Or is there any deeper thought about cheese? Fondue, should we talk about?
So the thing with melted cheese is it feels like a whole other category to me because of, like, you know, your camembert that you're going to dip into, but then also
pizza,
raclette cheese, where you
yes,
where you go, it makes you like a bit angry because it's so good, and it's just like, how do you make
cheese anger?
Delicious cheese anger, the passion that it incites. I love raclette.
Cheese passion rather than cheese anger. Are you really kind of wanting to destroy the cheese?
The passion of cheese.
Or just enjoy
eating
the cheese?
it. Yeah. I want to ingest it. I don't know.
There's
It
definitely
feels
something
like,
very Moorish, and as soon as it goes to that kind of warm, melty kind ofness, I think that there is something very nice about that. And like,
and it is ubiquitous. Like there's only a few cultures that don't have cheese. And I looked it up. Jesus had cheese. Like Jesus would have eaten cheese. Like they had cheese back in that day and in that culture. So there is something about cheese which
if it goes back 7,500, I mean that's a heck of a long time, isn't it?
A lot of cheese.
And I think I did fall down a geeky rabbit hole the other day because I wanted to make mozzarella. I wanted to make mozzarella because in the milk aisle there was non-homogenized milk, which means that it's all ready to be made into cheese. So I was like, right, okay, next time I'm in the supermarket, I will buy this milk, we'll make mozzarella, it'll be glorious. I failed. I got as far as making curds, but it wasn't acidic enough to get to the broken downness, which makes it stretchy. So we just had squeaky curds, which were delicious. But what it did mean was that in preparation, was watching videos of people making cheese because I think it's really beautiful, and they've passed down this knowledge person to person, and the largest cheese is I think Gouda, because each piece of cheese was taxed, so they just made a bigger
pieces,
a bigger piece, a bigger
cheese.
Nice. So that they were taxed less, which is, I think, an interesting fact. But there's something about the reverence that people pay. Is that here is, it's not just the work of the cheesemakers, it's the work of the farmers, it's the work of the people that bred the cows. There's a real kind of honouring.
Cowses.
I heard cowses.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it?
Cowses and the cheeses.
Cowses and the cheeses. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Sorry.
Kind of honouring reverence of this is product that has taken a long time, and this is a story of people that have been passing down the really clever ways of, you think this is from one type of milk, one type of thing in the first place, and by treating it in different ways, storing it at different temperatures, treating it at different stages differently, it's absolutely remarkable. And I think just the way these people I went down the same process of tile making in a similar way, but the story that people hold by making a product is absolutely beautiful. And I think and
it's regional, isn't it? It's a craft that is different according to region and culture because of where the cheese is made. Jesus is made. That changes and what you've got around it to make it, to do the processing. Like, because some places use lemon, don't they, for the acid, and other places use different sorts of things. Like, so depending on, if you're in a culture where there aren't lemons, so what do you do? How do you process your cheese? That's going to change, like the look of it, the texture of it, the feel of it, the taste of it, which I love. It is that craft, that sense of craft over many generations, which is amazing.
I guess it's how the craftsmanship changes over the years, and how it develops and takes on new characteristics and kind of is imparted down the generations. It becomes and we do have the regional cheeses, don't we? And I think there's something there about identity in the way that you prefer it, and that goes across to other foods, doesn't it? We do talk about foods in that way, is a Yorkshire pudding or whatever, or even to kind of how you decorate your scone. So I say decorate, how you butter
scone. Mark.
Sorry, I'm tired.
It's interesting because I didn't realise. I was thinking about what is it about cheese that actually is just like you live and die for it, like it's like it's amazing. And the ingredients of it are, like you say, Becca, like that it's fat and it's got good stuff, and it's a way of preserving something essential, like milk. We preserve it for a longer period of time.
Preservation process,
right. But also it's got phosphorus in it, which I didn't realise is absolutely essential for cellular regeneration. How amazing is that? So when you think about
I'm not getting fatter. My cells have just regenerated really well.
Really healthy because of all
the Doctor Who.
I've eaten. Yeah, but it is like a kind of source of sustenance in a way which is that, you know, actually quite good for us, really, as long as we're not eating piles and piles of it, I guess.
Yeah, and I think there is something there in that cheese is also a treat. So when I make macaroni cheese, I don't put cheese in the sauce. I only put cheese on top, just because that reduces. And it's that acknowledgement that all things in moderation can be good, and kind of honouring that.
Also, for me, I do the French, I think it's probably French thing, where if you're having it as part of a meal, it has to come between the main course and the dessert. It can't be the last thing that you eat. I think it's a French thing. I might be wrong. It might be sort of Mediterranean generally, but you have cheese and then you have your pudding, and that is and that also has that sense of treat and expectation and flavor, and and you're taking your time. It's a social thing. I love it.
We're about finished with the subject.
Quick talk about Jesus.
No, what I was about to say is that I can't remember who it was at college, Becca, and you might be able to remember, and obviously maybe not name drop on a live stream, but I think there was somebody who had a poster that said something along the lines of cheese is milk's leap towards immortality. And it's always stuck with me for like 23 years. And I always keep on coming back to that. I was like, yeah, I get that. It's a way of preserving the milk and for it to keep on going.
I like that.
Jesus
life. I don't remember that. I remember doing some street theatre sketch all about looking for Jesus, though, from the same era. Not sure it was a great moment in time.
And I don't think I can share a lot of those stories. So let's
not here.
Let's move on.
If you'd like to hear those stories, join us in Discord.
No, I can't even show them there either. Let's move on to Geeky Gallery. We have notes just showing their kind of their progress with their kind of railway track and their tunnel, and so we've got like a tunnel, and we've got some another picture of some paint going down, or some black paint going down, and therefore I think adding like the grass texture stuff, which is really funky.
Flocking,
flocking.
Sorry,
static flocking as well.
Yeah, that looks really cool. We then have Becca.
That is such a good picture. I love that so much.
So
I love that picture.
Second Life.
Yes. So that is posed avatars who have been put into an animated pose. So they're frozen in space, and then edited in Photoshop with overlays and things as well. And I also used Cray, which is like an AI enhancer as well, just to get a bit more animation in the faces.
What's going down in that letter though? Like some drama.
So
what is going on?
For podcast listeners, there's two period-esque kind
Regency.
of
Jane Austen Regency period.
Very pretty dresses.
In very beautiful dresses. They're very nice in Second Life as well.
Very cool.
It's a lace overlay.
And Jen, you actually wanted to know what novel it was on the.
But I didn't realise I was posting my picture next to. Anyway, there is no link between the two.
I didn't want to make the assumption. I didn't know.
This was a whiskey tasting I did, and it was delicious.
Oh, fantastic!
Nice. To peat or not to peat? Is it peaty whiskey or not peaty whiskey?
Those three were very peaty, and then I moved on to three more that were not peaty. And do you know what they would have gone well with? Cheese, Jesus, and meat.
We're going to move on. Book Monster is sharing about, I think that's The Sims, is it? About a large family home.
Yeah.
That's really quite
nice.
Cool. And then there's Specky Geek talking about the Magic the Gathering.
Nice.
A bit of Commander at my LGS. I don't know. Is it something store, maybe?
Very cool.
Sure. But yes, Magic the Gathering.
Local gaming shop.
Yes.
Yes, well done.
Right. Well done. And then Magic Dragon 29 says their new comics just arrived. The variant covers are lush.
They are brilliant.
Really lovely artwork. Who's that?
Across from each other. Oh, it's
what's her name and what's his name?
Poison Ivy,
Ivy, and
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, yeah.
Yeah,
looks like it.
I didn't realise. I thought it was like another Regency reference.
It could be. They do well.
But now I see it. Becca, you've been talking about
Oh,
gardening.
my
and about
greenhouse.
your greenhouse.
I've got and
Beautiful.
the vine in my greenhouse, I reckon, is probably about 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
It is really, really abundant. It's got a really, really thick stem at the base, and it just every time you cut it, new vine comes back. So all of those references about kind of pruning and cutting, they just become even more relevant. Yeah, I love it.
Then we just reference Eurovision. I had a little picture there of me just waiting with my little score sheet.
That was a lovely evening.
And then the next day, I went shopping to get some necessities for a club camp. Sorry, a cub camp.
Club camp.
Yes, and came across some stormtroopers.
Nice.
Which they were collecting for charity, and Ruben kind of walked over, and then I was like, oh gosh, I've got to give some money now.
And now you donate.
Exactly. So I donated, but they were pretty cool, actually. They were pretty cool. A little bit short for stormtroopers, though.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
That's the reference. And then, Becca, you've been shown, is it a bird app or bird sounds?
Yeah, what is it? Is it Merlin bird app? And I just sat in the garden, and there were like 15 different birds just singing in my back garden over 5 minutes. And there's other birds that are coming in and out, but 15 different species.
Is that a Pims?
That's a Pims, yeah.
Yes, it
obviously.
is.
Yeah. It was. I think that might even have been a very weak revision Pims, because someone was in the garden revising,
Nice.
so it was incredibly weak for those concerned about a 16-year-old having a drink. But it was mainly fruit and lemonade.
Nice.
Yeah, keeps things going.
And then the last page, we have somebody called Brick in our community. They've just joined, not sure when or how or who, but they've been shown a little bit about their pictures and their kind of portfolio. We have Jen again talking about books, about rediscovering your loved books, and
because I lost them all, and it was very distressing, and it's a whole story which I know we've not got time for. But anyway, it's okay. It's a happy ending.
So they came. Are they the originals?
No.
They're being replaced.
Because I went into my like where my bookshelves are. I really wanted to read one of my old favorites, and I thought I could even work through the ones I've not. I'm telling it now. I know we've not got time. Read through the ones that that have been, the ones that have been like formational for you over the years and shaped you as a person. Really important.
And all that Katie did.
And literally not a single copy of one of my favorite books. Like if I had to list my favorite 10 books, don't have them. Cried, actually sobbed. But it's okay. See, it's a happy ending.
That's a happy ending.
Yeah.
Talking about books, I remember talking to my son about Discworld. I always talk about Discworld when it comes to books, and I was telling him about how I kind of held off reading the last Terry Pratchett book that I had. And it took me 2.5 years, and I told this story to him, and then I was like looking through, and I was like, there's another one I haven't got. And so I bought it, and now it's stood on my shelf doing the exact same thing.
You never read?
Yeah, because I just overlooked it, and I was like, but it is. But then I'm there going, and now I'm doing the exact same thing as I did last time. Is that I can't bring myself, because it is that experience of not reading another Discworld book that I've never come across, and I love that. Yeah, so I've got it now, and it's on the shelf. So,
save it for a special occasion.
That's where having a rubbish memory for things comes into play, because every time I read a book, it's like I'm reading the book again. Brand new book.
That's very good. Finally, on Geeky Gallery, we have Lydia as well, just talking about geeking out on researching the best dog stroller for a 16-year-old dog in law count.
It's a dog carrier dog stroller. It looks like a double-decker bus. That's what I thought when I first saw it.
It's like a shopping cart thing, but 4 wheels.
You have one underneath and one on top.
It's cool and sheltered. It looks like the dog from Spaced.
Oh, see, I thought it looked like the dog from Futurama that waits for Fry. Oh, spoilers.
Spoilers.
It does it. I assume it does take up the whole space.
Yeah, so it's just quite a big dog.
Mm.
Yeah. Sam's put, I skipped The Amazing Morris the first time through, but read it this month.
Oh, Sam.
Yeah. Yes, I think I have read that one, but I haven't got it. And that's, again, coming back to what you were saying.
Yeah,
I've read
these
it,
things
but I haven't got a
matter.
copy of it.
Matter.
So, yes. So that is the end of Geeky Gallery. And I think that should be the end of the stream too. Anything left to say?
I think that
before
should
I
be the
lose
end
my-
for us all.
You were like you were finishing a CBeebies bedtime
That's
story then.
Thank you, folks, for joining us.
Tom
And
Hardy
until
style.
next time, ta-ra. Is there anything left to say, comment on, or otherwise? We just remind people that we are available on Discord. There should be some kind of rules and guidelines, and allowing people to come and chat to us. I thought Stephen has put cheers, everyone. I thought he'd actually wrote
cheese, everyone.
Cheese,
Cheese, Stephen.
Sam is off to find cheese.
Cheese, Sam.
But just a reminder that if you are heading Cliff Festival, where it costs to enter, and you can camp or you can go for the day. We are going to be there.
That's in Carver, Derbyshire, if you don't know where Cliff Festival is.
It's not on a very good bus route though, is it? But Grindleford is about 2 or however many miles away on a train. But you can get there by car if you do that sort of thing. So we are there. Anything left to say? Okay.
It's our Tim freezing faces then. Becca, it's over to you, I think.
I'm just thinking, I don't know, the thing that stuck out for me this week, and I think Discord has been a slow growing unraveling, and we kind of have this chatty time during the week, but then during the rest of the week we have Discord and that time to kind of celebrate or commiserate. And there was something in the moment of going, oh, you know what? We're all watching Eurovision. This is actually fits within the niche of us all being a bit geeky, and it wasn't for everyone, but within that moment, it was shall we have a separate live stream? And it just felt like a magical community moment that made Discord feel more like a real place for us to be. Do join us, do join in. There is no rubbish photo. We show pretty much the things that our hearts are drawn to, and your heart is also welcome to be drawn with us.
Yeah.
Amen.
Okay.
On that note, bye-bye.
Bye.